Yo, what is going on YouTube? Welcome back to another StratticeTM video. Brand new on today's video, we're going to be shooting a reaction to Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate's emergency meeting video slash podcast that they just uploaded a few days ago. It was one of the biggest live streams in the world. I did hear it was top 5, or also I heard from another source it was top 40. It was so big that the power ended up going off because I believe a police officer shut it down because he thought they were breaking in, or they were breaking out of house arrest. So guys, this video is going to be jam-packed. We're going to watch and see exactly, what they said, some of the things, some of their experiences from jail. It's their first podcast slash video back from jail on their own, right? So not having somebody else interview them or going with the BBC or this other guy. This is their own podcast at their house with just them two together, which is a little bit of a different dynamic compared to the other interviews out there. If you like the video, smash the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you straight in the video. Alright, so we're just going to fast forward to where it actually starts. And by the way, if you guys are wondering, on his Rumble account, which was first initially posted, it got 5.18 million views to date, almost 10,000 comments, and 127,000 likes. So obviously starting off looks like a video from his previous life. There's his infamous Bugatti, which is actually really sick. That's a super sick Bugatti, if I had to say so myself. Beautiful, nice scenery. He's definitely on vacation somewhere, rather shooting videos, filming his life, doing work, smoking his cigar, as per usual, drinking his coffee. What the hell?
Protests on the street, dark conspiracies online, a community profoundly damaged, its scars yet to heal.
The day after the pictures were posted, there was an arrest, but it wasn't of any alleged attackers. It was of 19-year-old Ellie herself.
Wow.
Police said she'd broken bail conditions, having previously been arrested for a highly unusual move. The police then issued this statement.
What I would say is, when the question is asked, is there an organised
Town to calm its sense of shock, it resolutely.
I'm not even exactly sure what happened.
And anger
apparently it didn't go in her favor.
Asian businesses are terrorized. A local newspaper reporter is forced to go into hiding. But the questions which have so bitterly divided the town are resolved in the most dramatic pool. Supposedly at the time she'd been trafficked there. Here she is buying snacks in a local shop. And here, perhaps the most extraordinary piece of evidence. Ellie buys a hammer which the jury are told she uses to inflict horrific injuries on herself.
Wow.
Ellie Williams was convicted of 9 charges of perverting the course of justice and today sentenced to 8.5 years in jail.
Wow.
There is no explanation for why the defendant would commit
What
these
the hell is
offences.
going on here?
She has gone to extraordinary lengths to create false accusations.
She said, but I know that I have done wrong on some of this.
Okay, so she pretty much faked being raped, and instead of the people she's accusing, she actually got imprisoned herself, which Andrew Tate probably put that in because it's sort of a similar situation where you have people trying to claim that he is a human trafficker, him and his brother, that they've raped people, and on the other end, it doesn't actually seem like it. And here's CoffeeZilla. Let's see what he has to say.
Attack you, your character, and cancel you.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate has been banned from Facebook and Instagram for violating its policies around dangerous individuals.
Describe Andrew Tate as an extremist group.
They put you in jail for something you did not do.
The Matrix has attacked me.
With 150
That's crazy still.
wording, slightly rewritten in the same picture. There's somebody above and behind all this.
Controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate.
Controversial influencer Andrew Tate.
Controversial social media personality
Has been arrested in Romania on suspicion of
Human trafficking.
rape and forming an
organized crime group.
And the last is they kill you. And I'll make it very clear here, I would never kill myself under any circumstances, ever. When an article comes out saying, Tate did this.
I mean, this is tough. I remember when I first heard that he went to jail and got arrested. It was crazy because, at least me personally, I didn't believe it, right? But you have the news and you have all these videos and Then you have these clips broken up where it really does make it seem like he's guilty. So even a person like myself, I'm like, holy shoot, like, I don't believe this stuff. It's almost so like they're trying to convince you and they're trying to deceive you and make you think something else. So that's why you have to be careful. Some of the stuff he says is actually true. I believe it.
I just pray there's enough people who are outside of the matrix to sit and go, this is some bullshit. If you truly believe something, you need to sit and analyze whether it's your own personal experience that makes you believe something, or if someone else or something else has convinced you of this. And you need to analyze every belief you hold, where it came from, and then analyze what their intentions are. When you have the youth, the masculine youth of the world, thinking for themselves, that's pretty scary to authority. And when I'm sitting there saying, don't listen to the bullshit, become physically strong, think for yourself, prioritize your brotherhood above what the fucking matrix is telling you, do not blindly comply, resist the slave mind, all these things I'm saying, they just sat there one day and said, wait, the most popular person on the planet is saying, don't listen to our bullshit. Really?
He's a very wealthy guy. He can get any woman he wants. Why he would engage in something like that is beyond me. Here's something that is rather strange. Greta Thunberg, you know who she is, the climate activist. He got into a beef with her. Well, within 2 or 3 days, he gets arrested. Doesn't sound right to me. Human trafficking is out of control. And what is our president doing about it? Nothing. And the White House knows about it. And so do all the left politicians. They understand. Epstein, we know there was human trafficking there. But the left has a tendency to do this, man. They jump all over people.
Very, very connected. He said the following: I saw the interviews last night, and the U.S. Embassy was involved. I think the embassy put them up to it.
Wow. They all work together.
Meaning maybe there is a probable cause for it, but also at the same time, U.S. Embassy was involved to go in and taking him down.
The accusations have been made.
I mean, it's so crazy because, I mean, just think about it. If this can happen to somebody of this nature and this fame and you know, somebody where everybody knows him, imagine when it happens to the little guy who doesn't have that support, who doesn't have that money, who doesn't have that media support where he can plead his case, who doesn't have access to the best lawyers. You ultimately and really get screwed in the end because, I mean, ultimately, if you're fighting a case where you're innocent, right? And obviously you don't have the funds to get, you know, a good lawyer that can defend your case, or you don't have the media coverage to show why it's wrong, then what do you expect? You get thrown into prison 20, 30 years, right? Just for them to figure out later on and only give you $500,000 because that's what they believe that, you know, you're entitled to after their false imprisonment. And then at that point, half your life is gone. And I mean, relationships have been destroyed and families have been divided. I mean, this is their plan all along.
I'd like to see some evidence. They try banning this guy. They try shutting him down. Lies in the media. I don't know how much I believe it.
It's not outlandish to assume that he has cheesed off some powerful people.
The court in Romania has agreed to allow the controversial social media influencer Andrew Tate to leave prison and move into house arrest.
This was crazy too.
The British-American former kickboxer has millions of online followers. He's being investigated for a number of crimes, all of which he denies.
It seemed almost like a hero's welcome as Andrew Tate returned to his home in Romania.
I truly believe that justice will be served in the end. I maintain my absolute innocence, and I think most people understand this, and I look forward to being home. I am James Bond. That's my exact life. I am actually fucking James Bond head to toe.
Bro, his filmmaking is crazy. He has some crazy, crazy filmmaking. I mean, the amount of editors he has, he's so smart because he makes, you know, he makes these clips that are like very like clickbaity clips where it's like him and, you know, a yacht or driving around the jet ski or fighting with like super crazy definition. And I mean, it's genius because it catches your eye. And when it catches your eye, it's also an appealing video. So he definitely knows how to paint the picture.
I achieve that.
Jesus Christ.
The world's moved on since you retired, Commander Bond.
And in my humble opinion, the world doesn't change very much.
I'm not just any old 00. I'm 007.
And they made it very, very clear that people like Bond are going to be replaced.
and that people like Bond are no longer needed, and that people like Bond are going to be eradicated. So I have a choice. I either stop being James Bond, or sooner or later, there is a near 100% chance that I, Andrew Tate, end up in a jail cell or dead.
There is a strange sense of dread.
Woo! The podcast has finally started. Let's go. We've been waiting for this.
That comes from knowing exactly what they are trying to do to you. But there's also a strange sense of calm. I have been telling the world for the longest possible time exactly what they will try to do to me. I nailed it to the letter. I told all of you in advance. I saw the future and I was not wrong. What they are doing to me, they will do to absolutely anybody with an opinion. If you are a man and you are supporting me, you are not just supporting me, you're supporting yourself, you're supporting your future, you're supporting your father and your brother, and you're supporting any man out there who decides to speak and do anything other than simply pay his taxes and die. Because what they are hitting me with is the highest level of matrix attack which a man can possibly endure. Last time, when I was canceled, I said they hit me with their last bullet and I remained unfazed. And I was incorrect. For the first time in my life, I was incorrect because it was not their last bullet. They had another one and they shot me. And I remain unfazed.
Mr. Producer? That's pretty sick. Mr. Producer is what he calls himself.
A lot of the men I met in jail wanted to go home and see their families and their children. A lot of the men I met in jail missed their old lives, their old jobs. What did I say to you when I was in jail? What did I miss doing above everything else? I can't wait to get out of jail so we can hold
an emergency meeting.
And here we are. So I've been looking forward to this day for a very long time. 6 months and counting.
It's kind of funny where we were saying there will be a day that comes, even if we're 85 years old, where an emergency meeting will take place again. Even if we're 85, 86, unless they kill us, it will happen. And now it's happening today.
I mean, look at his beard.
That conversation surrounded by cockroaches in a Romanian jail cell.
Do you realize we have 350,000 people watching us live?
Good, because these are 350,000 people who are interested in the truth. And let me make something very clear to the world before we begin. We have to be very careful because the case is still open. We're within the jurisdiction of Romania, and we must pay respect to the Romanian authorities so we do not get hauled back to jail. However, we must also pay respect to God and be truthful and do not lie and say as much as we can possibly say and tell the truth as much as we can possibly tell. We understand a lot of you are very curious about what happened to us, and we're going to do our best to outline why what happened. But before we do that, let's talk about how the Matrix is breaking in real time. When I sat in the jail cell, I spent most of my time gathering my chi. If you're staying at home and you don't know what that means, it means you haven't got any chi. But I have chi. I can gather power and save it. Like a squirrel can save nuts. I can save power inside of my muscles, knowing that in future I will need it to destroy my enemies. I was gathering chi because I had all the time.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What is that? The alcohol? What is that? Wine?
In the world, understanding that this battle for truth has just begun. It is truly good against evil. And before anyone asks which side I'm on, if you are telling the truth and you are worshiping God, you are always on the side of good. The people who are against us are simply lying. They are simply lying. And I believe on a long enough time frame with God on our side, the truth will come out. I said to the Matrix, what did I warned them.
You went too far with me. You may laugh at me now, but you've gone too far. YouTube, you think you have a monopoly? You think you could control the information? Well, you are wrong, and cutting me, axing me, banning me was the final straw.
It was the final straw.
You said. And people laughed at you. People sat in a YouTube executive office people at Meta and sat around and laughed and said, that's the last we're going to see of this guy.
And here we are.
May God help you.
May God help you.
Here we still are.
Because we're here to tell the truth. So let's begin with the things everybody wants to talk about.
I mean, it's crazy because he got banned from all this stuff and he jumped on the Rumble. And he's literally the star of Rumble now, is he not? I don't know who's bigger on Rumble. By the way, plug me in. I got a Rumble, guys. If you want to see my Rumble page, go ahead and click. It should be down in the description below. But yeah, Rumble is, I mean, it's getting bigger and bigger. Obviously, it's not the exact to YouTube, but I mean, I post on both platforms just so that way I have a bigger reach.
Case which we can't really discuss. We cannot discuss the case because the case is ongoing. But you have to understand that everything is printed by Lucy and her friends is a lie. Yesterday, we were at Decott's office and 5 of the charges were removed.
Yeah, no matter what the Matrix says, yesterday, when they change the status of your case file, they have to call you to the offices at Decott. So I was looking at 6 counts of human trafficking. I went there yesterday. I didn't quite understand why I was going there. I didn't know if I was going to go back to jail. I didn't know what they intended to do. And when I left the building, I was facing 1 count of human trafficking. So that's yesterday summed up as a whole. I don't know where the other 5 counts went. I don't know why they were around for so long before they disappeared. 14 months? I don't know. But I do know that I'm now facing 1 count of human trafficking as opposed to 6 counts of human trafficking. And I think it's very important that we explain what we're allowed to explain, exactly what we are accused of. Because there's a lot of confusion about old videos we made, things we said 8 years ago. Does this link it to the case somehow? I'm going to tell you what we are accused of, and I'm allowed to talk about this because it was on my arrest documents. Here is the official story. In 2021, 2 years ago, my brother and I formed an organized criminal gang with the intent of moving women to Romania so we could steal money from their TikTok accounts to enrich ourselves. I think it's very important that I tell the world.
That is crazy. That is crazy. They're pretty much down to get arrested because they apparently have intent to steal money from people's TikTok account. Come on. Do they even make money on TikTok? That's baloney.
World this and come across explaining what we're accused of because people are asking very normal questions, even fans of mine. Hey, Tristan, you used to run a webcam studio. I no longer run one, but yes, I used to. How is this linked into the case? That has nothing to do with the case. There is no link between what I'm currently being accused of, what I'm currently going through, and any activities I used to do with running webcam studios. Everyone who works for me has sent me letters of encouragement, emails of encouragement. I appreciate them all. I appreciate the love and support, of course. But the narrative is that I formed a criminal gang when my net worth was already over $100 million, when I was already a father to a daughter, nonetheless, when I was already a world-famous individual, when I was a retired professional sportsman, when my brother was already the retired 4-time kickboxing champion of the world, with no financial motive. We allegedly formed this gang to steal money from TikTok accounts. That is the narrative. That is what I have been arrested for. And this is the first time publicly I can finally clear that up.
Yeah, so God is on our side. And you know what? I have faith in the Romanian judicial system.
So do I.
I have faith in the system. And unfortunately, the reality is in every country in the world, this is not an anti-Romania podcast. It makes this very clear. In every country in the world, innocent people get caught up in the judicial system and they have to prove their innocence. We have been accused, like my brother said, of nothing prior to 2021 or 2022. So all of our old videos, old life had nothing to do with this. They said after 21, we decided to form an organized criminal gang and steal TikTok accounts money. Now, I'll let everyone come to their own conclusions regarding the validity of that and our motivations for that, and if that ever happened. We do not have a problem with Romania. We do not hate Romania.
And neither should you.
Romania is a country, and like all countries in the world, they are on a very large chessboard that the Matrix controls, and they are simply pieces which must be moved. Anybody who's smart enough to understand what I'm saying understands what I'm saying. And that if the Matrix decides to attack you, they can attack you in any jurisdiction on Earth.
And they will attack you in your home. They will attack you where you live. They will attack you where they think they can paint the best story about you.
Correct.
So I do not hold any hate in my heart for the people of Romania, even the justice system of Romania or the police of Romania or anybody involved in this process. Because I believe, as famous as you are saying the things you are saying, this would have happened if we were in England or France or Germany or Spain or the United States or most countries with a Western agenda. And I am not going to be leaving Romania. My daughter is a Romanian. She has Romania written on her passport. This is my country. I have lived here for 7 years. So people who do not understand the situation are very quick to blame Romania. They're wrong. Do not do that. I might move to Cluj instead of Bucharest. What do you think?
I like Cluj.
A bit more of a quiet life. I like Cluj too.
Cluj is a beautiful city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is not particularly Romania's fault. This is just a result of becoming monumentally successful and telling the truth. And whenever you're the kind of person who tells the truth, the bastions, the gates which are held, which try and prevent the truth from being exposed to the general public, there's going to be some degree.
This is a very, very long emergency meeting, lasting almost about an hour and a half from when it originally started. So I'm going to do my best in terms of giving, a reaction to some of the major parts. Probably won't have an hour and a half long video. Definitely will at least have a good portion of it.
Degree of pushback, and unfortunately that pushback is powerful. It's a very powerful but vocal minority which dislike us. And I want to make that very clear also to the people watching at home. People often say, oh, but what do women think about you? Do you know what? I got maybe 1,000 to 2,000 love letters from women a week in jail. Endless women support us. In fact, I'd say it was about 50-50. 50% of our mail was from men and 50% of our mail was from women. Women support our message fully. Any woman who's not matrix-minded supports us. It's a very vocal minority which is against us, and don't let them psyop you into believing that somehow the whole world hates us, women hate us, garbage. It's not true. The world is waking up. The matrix is breaking. People are understanding they're tired of being lied to. They understand the truth of our message. They understand men are allowed an opinion. Women want men who have an opinion, who take care of them, who protect them, who provide for them. The things we are teaching and the things we are saying are not disliked by the majority. They're disliked by a very powerful and evil minority.
And you could simply look at this. I mean, the comments under this video will probably be 100% positive.
All right, let's check the comments. God bless the Tate family. This is going to be the biggest EM ever. Allahu Akbar. Please make sure it's high quality. No way. Let's go. Finally, emergency meeting. Let's go. Top G and Top T. I know Andrew and Tissa may not see this, but I'm writing it anyway. I appreciate your sacrifice. This will break the internet. If not, Rumble, gear up. This will break the internet. Whoever disliked is a little. Yeah. So, I mean, it's all positive. Something about a time clock. Bro, 3:37 is the second where the Matrix attacked and shut down the live stream. We'll all remember this and know. 3:37. I'm at 2:22. 3:37. Let's just check this out.
My best to help people. We donate so much money to charity. Name a won't sell. That's what they're afraid of. That's what they're most afraid of, and they'll continue to be most afraid of.
I guess that's where their stuff shut down at 2:22. Let's go back out to this.